That
Wait, we
was
were singing?
something a little bit different. No,
That was... Is that our new intro?
no, I just wanted to add something different. I want to add something a little different. Okay, go ahead.
All right, anyways, welcome to...
Welcome to From Both Sides.
the podcast where you get in a boomer and a
And
zoomer,
the
and
old-
we talk about a whole bunch of topics.
Boomer and Zoomer. I never heard that one
Yeah,
before.
because boomer, like you guys...
Zoomer.
Well, because
Oh,
we're the Z generation, so we're the
Z.
zoomers.
Z for Zoomer.
Yeah.
I'm the baby boomer.
It's because we have big brain thoughts.
Yes,
We're
okay.
so intellectual, and we know everything.
Okay, go. Continue on.
Anyways, welcome to the podcast where a boomer and a zoomer, we talk about topics and we give our opinions, whether it be family-oriented things or...
What?
What you doing there with my wallet?
Oh, is that your wallet?
Yeah, I mean, it has venom in my Carolina Ravasa charity charm. Sorry.
Just picking it up, trying to get it out of the way.
How'd it end up in your hands? Huh?
Just kind of cleared the area, that was all.
You being a thief?
Which brings us to...
You being a thief? Huh?
Not today, but it does bring about a good point, though.
It does bring a good point.
Yes.
Of something that has happened recently that we would like to discuss.
Yes.
The topic of thievery.
This one, unfortunately, is not going to be so fun of a topic, but it's very realistic, and this is some stuff we need to...
Something that actually happened very, very recently, and I've talked about a little bit on Insta and on YouTube. If you guys have been hearing and listening to all those, I kind of brought it up recently. So we wanted to bring it up to you guys and kind of discuss it and give some stories, give some opinions, maybe go a little bit more in depth with it. Excuse me, my goodness. The topic of being a victim of theft. And
crimes in general, but theft this time is definitely what we're going to talk about. Yeah.
We'll kind of get more on the crime aspect, but we'll talk a little bit and tell some stories, actually. Do you have one on the top of your head?
I've actually got two of them. But
Same, actually. I got two as well.
Yeah, so if we want to do that, I'll try to make it as quick as possible.
Yep.
I was out for a run one night. When I first got out of the Marine Corps, so I was running all the time. And I parked at my girlfriend's house. They weren't there yet, so I had a nice little Camaro I was fixing up. It was like a 72 Camaro. I loved it. And had brand new seats in it and everything. A brand new radio I just bought. Spent a lot of money on. Right. And I left my wallet in there because I didn't want to carry it. You just carry your driver's license,
Right.
So I must have ran, I think, about 7 miles that night. And I was coming back, and I was exhausted. And I sprint like crazy on the last, like 100, 200 yards. And I look up, and somebody's coming out of my car. And this is nighttime. It was night when I was coming back, so I seen my lights on inside my car, So I'm like breathing real heavy. Hey! And this guy runs out of my car and jumps in another car that was sitting across the road from them, and they spun off, So I get there, and my wallet is just all over the place, and there ain't no money. It was my whole paycheck. And that was back in 70... actually, it was in 80. I'm sorry, early 80. So, not that it's back in the 30s or something like that, but still a paycheck. That paid my rent and everything else, and I had just gotten out in the Marine Corps, so I wasn't making really a whole lot of money. So they stole that, and then I looked at my dash, and they tore that radio out of the whole front and just tore up the whole dash and everything. So, I mean, can't even tell you how angry I was at the time. I mean, I just couldn't believe it had happened to me. So another time, that was one, and I'm not going to go really into depth of the way I felt and everything at the time, but just to tell you circumstances. Another time, I'd left my car. I'd spent all this money buying these brand new tires in the same situation. I was working this a couple years later, like 2 years later, and I'd spent all this money I'd saved up buying brand new tires. They're like Michelin. They're really, really nice tires. And I found these rims on, they didn't have, all the like eBay and all that stuff back then. You had to look in the paper and found these rims that were gorgeous.
Catalogs and...
Yeah, they were Krager's. Krager's were gorgeous chrome rims. And I'd had them on my 79 Trans Am. And Man, they look gorgeous. But I left the cars at my buddy's where I was staying with him and at his house, just parked right up by the garage. And I went with the church group. We went to Cedar Point. If you guys don't know where Cedar Point is, it was a state away from where we were at that time. But we went there. It's a big amusement park. A lot of fun rides.
I think it's the world's biggest, actually.
Yeah. Well, it definitely has the biggest rides there for
Yeah.
sure, and fastest and all that other stuff. But they're awesome. If you like roller coasters, what you do.
Sandusky,
Anyhow,
Ohio.
Yeah,
It's an awesome place.
it
It's got
is.
a lot there.
Lot. So anyway, I come back from that, and here's my car setting up on blocks. Now, don't ask. I wouldn't even know why would a thief take the time to put the car on blocks, but it was up on blocks. Every one of my tires, my wheels were all gone. If I had to buy them, they probably would have been over $600 really with the tires. Everything back then gone, just gone. And I don't even know what I did for tires at that time. I was so depressed, to tell you, because I just spent a ton of money on that stuff. And then when I went to the insurance company, they'll never give you the full price that you paid for that. But those are the two situations that were, they hit me hard. So yours.
As for mine, not quite. Like, first one I can definitely relate to, because as of recent, I had went up to Michigan to hang out with our family, and help them out, figure some stuff out, because they stream as well. Actually, shout out to Don't Make This Weird. If you guys go into my channel section, they're on the side there, so go check them out. Also with, the Survivor Girl podcast as well, by the way. But I was helping them out, and we were up there. There was a huge, power outage and stuff, and so we were driving around or whatever, trying to see what places were
What do you mean
open.
power outage? Where'd that happen from?
There was a massive ice storm.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Oh, wow, weird.
Because why would you have a power outage?
Yeah, so there was this massive power outage.
It was terrorists.
Across,
The terrorists.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
across, oh my gosh, Russia's attack. No, across all of Michigan, there was a huge power outage.
It
This
was
huge
nasty
ice storm came
storm.
over. There was, if you looked at the state, you guys know there was the glove. It was boom, boom across here. There was just one strip that was just green. That was all okay, but everything else was out. It was really bad, and you could actually, because my cousin Tony and I, we were both awake playing games together, actually, and we seen in the distance all these green explosions, or lights,
Transformers
and they're
going
all Transformers blowing up,
Wow.
coming towards us, and it was crazy. But no, we were out and about, and we were trying to see what places still had power, what places were open and stuff, and there was a Wendy's that were open, and I was kind of hungry because I hadn't eaten yet, so I'm like, well, let's go over there. I'll just grab something real quick, like a chicken sandwich or something, and that's what I did. We all sat down and ate. I ended up having to go to the bathroom, and I normally take everything with me unless it's people that I trust or friends or family or stuff, and then I leave my stuff there. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, we're family.
Yeah. My cousin was there, and then another family friend, we'll say, at the time. And so I went to the bathroom. I took off my coat that I normally keep everything, and I went to the bathroom. I left it on the chair. And I come back, and I finish off, my drink and food or whatever, and then I throw it away. And then I go to make sure, because I have this OCD habit of always touching my pockets and stuff. I went and felt in my pocket. Well, my wallet was
That's
missing.
not OCD, by the way. That's just making sure you got your crap.
I don't know. I do it all the time, though, more obsessively than I probably should.
Which you should if you want to find out if you got your wallet with you.
Yeah, because when I did, wallet was gone. So we ran around the whole restaurant looking everywhere, seeing if there was people still in there. We checked the trash cans and everything like that.
And I remember you calling me because you were telling me.
No, that was after. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, that's before you found out the other thing, though. You told me you thought there was two guys with the two kids, and you thought it was them.
But no.
that took it.
I'm not there yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me
sorry.
get my story
Sorry.
in order. Because I know how it happened. I was
Okay.
there. Anyways, so Tony and other said person, they were going to go out the same door. I told them to split up so they could both check outside. Because if somebody just wanted to take the cash or cards or something, they would dump the wallet. So we were all looking around. We all went around outside and everything. Didn't see it. And I ended up getting a weird feeling, checked by the employee door. And it was just sitting there by the employee door. And so when I finally got it, I came back to the car. And that's when I had called you afterwards. And I was so angry, and we found out that it was the family friend who had taken it. And basically what had happened is when I went to the bathroom, she had went and reached it, like my pocket that was hanging there. She had reached down while my cousin wasn't paying attention because he was on his phone. Tony, looking at you. You need to get away from your freaking phone, dude.
Especially if you're out eating together. Damn it, talk, socialize.
Yeah, well, it's because he didn't have Wi-Fi, so he was catching up with everybody.
It doesn't matter.
I know, but we were at Wendy's, so he had Wi-Fi, so he could do it. That's why he was.
Go ahead,
went
make
there.
excuses for him. That's right.
No, I'm not, because I'm like, ugh. Anyways, because it happened right in front of him.
Yeah.
But no, he was on his phone, and so after that, it all happened. We didn't really know, but we had went to the cops and we had talked to them. They had gotten right on it. Apparently, in case you guys don't know, fun fact. If you think there's only 2 or 3 cameras inside of a restaurant, like even a fast food restaurant, you are very wrong. There's 28 just in the one Wendy's we were at, you know? So, I don't know. But anyways, I was so frustrated. But that's one story. And
we'll get into the...
we'll get into the feelings of stuff. But as for the other side of it, or another story, the other story... I remember when I was younger, and if I don't even think this person is going to watch it. It's still a buddy of mine, actually. I don't know if you remember this.
I know exactly.
Yep.
Because this meant a lot. Yeah.
At the time, it meant a lot. Now I don't really care. But when I was younger, a buddy of mine actually, he had. We were really into Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, like collecting cards and trading and stuff like that. And so I had the set of like the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Egyptian Gods, like they're like the first edition ones or whatever, right? And there was a time, you knew where I was going to go with
I knew it. I was hoping, actually, if you didn't, I was going to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the very first time you actually...
One of them.
That
there was
young, but I'm saying being that young.
There was another one. You remember?
After that?
No, before. I'll talk to you about that one later. I wasn't really stealing though. That was just getting tricked. There was a difference.
Okay, yeah.
But I had made a trade for him because I had some other rare cards that he wanted, and he had like a couple of the Egyptian gods, and I wanted like a second set or something like that because mine was a little bit beat up. And he always used
to ask us too before he did card trades.
Yeah, I would ask, and then I would ask my friends and like make sure that it was something they absolutely wanted.
Yep.
And so we traded. Well, at the end of closer to the end of the day after this said person had left, we had made the trade or whatever, and he had went home, and so I went to go back and look at the cards a little bit later, after it was already said and done, and I couldn't find them, and I'm like, there's no way I lost them. So I started freaking out, I started breaking down and like complaining to them because I was like real small or whatever, and then I had found out it was because he stole my cards and his cards back, the ones that were traded, and it was not a pretty day. So we didn't talk for quite a while. He had worked on himself a lot, and now we're pretty good friends again, and everything's fine. Nothing bad's there. So he went through a lot of stuff after that, and it was a big learning moment for both of us.
That's a perfect one to talk about when we get to the part about punishment.
Yes.
Because that's a perfect one.
So feelings on all that, I think that would be a very important part to discuss for that. For every situation.
Man. Yeah.
Because I know when I was even talking to the police and hearing, basically the police, when I got my wallet stole, because they had come in and the lady was still there because she was living with my cousin at the time. They came in and they basically they had offered me the choice. They're like, do you want us to just take her now? Because she for sure did it. We seen it. They're like 1080p cameras, and we see her take it out of your pocket and put it, or see her take it out of your pocket and put it in hers and go and run with it or whatever. But they asked, do you want us to just take her now, or do you want to like hear her out? And I heard her out and everything. And while I was hearing her out, she kept lying, and then she would change her story and everything. And I was shaking. I was so mad. I don't think I've been so mad in such a long time. Like karate, I think, was the only other time I've gotten so like frustrated. Right.
So isn't it interesting, just because you're bringing this up?
Yeah.
When you're talking to somebody and you're mad, and you've gotten to the point where you're so mad, you're actually physically shaking because you're so mad. Now I'm gonna tell you, if you've never been there, you get there, and
you can't
especially
control
in this situation, you can't.
No.
It's almost like when you get the shivers.
Yeah, it's like say you're in 0 degree temperature.
Yeah, and you get the shivers right down in your spine, and you just can't stop shaking.
It probably actually didn't help though too that the power was actually out too. So that's probably part of it. But no, I was.
You do that.
Yeah,
I was.
It's that same type of feeling is when it's so cold and you can't control your shivers and stuff like that. That's what it's like. Except you don't have the cold feeling, but your muscles are, I don't know, it's a really strange feeling, like when you're getting them electrocuted or whatever for like therapy stuff. It's like that same kind of feeling. You can't control it. But yeah, I was livid. I don't think I've ever been so livid and depressed and sad about something.
Let me ask
Especially
you a question. Do you think, and I don't mean to interrupt, but you're going there, but do you think it's because you knew at that point that she had taken it because they showed you the video and stuff?
Oh, I didn't get to see the videos yet.
But they told you they seen her definitely take it.
Yeah.
So you knew for a fact.
Yeah.
And yet you're sitting there talking to her. And
I didn't even talk to her. For the first like 5 minutes, I just let them talk to her. And as she kept progressively, she was swearing on God, she was swearing on her kids' lives, she was swearing and all this stuff about not doing it. And then she slowly progressed her story to, oh, well, I accidentally took it, but then I felt bad and blah, 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 but I didn't take the money. And then it didn't matter because she still stole it on Wendy's property, first off. Second off, she did take the money. There's no way. Because even if she did dump it out back, literally there was a 30-second frame. We had actually like counted it out and everything. There's like about a 30-second window from her dumping it to us finding it.
Wow.
So nobody ran out of their car at the drive-thru and went and grabbed my wallet and took the money out of it. Right. She took it.
Yeah.
So, but no, I was livid. I was absolutely livid. And the part that I think made me most angry, aside from her swearing on her kids' lives and all that stuff, that really angered me. And even the police officers that were there, they were wonderful guys, by the way. But they one guy started telling her to just shut up because she kept swearing and saying, she's like, I'm not lying, honestly. No. And
no, I thought that you had went to Tony's and then came back.
No, we went straight from Wendy's to the police station and went to Tony's.
So all right.
So there was no place that she could have dumped it within that time.
But on the way to the, I thought when you were telling me on the way to the police station, she kept saying she didn't take it and stuff, or we swore on her kids.
No, that was when the officers got to the house. Yeah. Okay. No, she while we were on the way there, ironically, she had made a comment and said, "Oh yeah, like if you want, like I can try to help pay you back. I can try to get like blah blah blah, whatever." It was weird. Like at the time, it made sense because if you're trying to help somebody out when they just went through something, that makes sense. But looking back on it, the way that it was worded and the timing was really weird.
Now, I'll say something about the money that was taken too. Mm-hmm. If it was just extra spare change and stuff you had, that would not have been as much too. But,
yeah. Oh, I think she took the change out of there as well.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, but part of that money was his grandma gave him for his birthday. Isn't that
for Christmas?
Or Christmas, yeah. So it was a gift. It was a gift to him. Now
that and because grandma with her right now, because there's a lot of stuff going on with my grandmother at the moment. Yeah. So for her to give like the money that she did,
right? Absolutely. So I mean those kind of things. So that even makes the crime even worse when something like that happens to you. And like me saving up for the tires and stuff, that was probably a half a year to a year worth of savings to get those real nice tires and rims and putting all the extra hours. When I was working tons of hours. Overtime hours to buy stuff like that. And
so you're exhausted first off.
Yeah. And then somebody just comes and they're gone,
Within not even... So, isn't that crazy, though? Like, the amount of time something can just change.
Yeah, just seconds.
Because, you live through days and you don't see any change and things aren't happening or whatever, and then something can just happen in a minute and everything's different. And that's a whole nother thing. But, yeah, and then with the friend and the card story, too, I think number one feeling I got from that was betrayal, because it's like... That was the first time, at least in a close friendship or something like that betrayal happened, and I don't know, and
see what happened. Like you said, what happened to your friendship? You guys didn't talk for
probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years, and they were really, really close. They were very much so. So that kind of segued. That was a good segue. That kind of segued into how our feelings and everything about what happens to your emotions? How do you feel, and what does it do to you as a person to react on a crime and stuff? And something I just happen to think about every once in a while. When you get a little bit older, you'll be called for jury duty. Wonderful thing.
Subpoenas.
And is a right. Yeah, subpoenas. And you'll be asked to come to serve in jury on court case and stuff. Sometimes it's a grand jury and you're locked away for a while. I mean, it depends on whatever you get pulled for, if it's a capital
You
offense
cannot
or whatever.
leave this building.
Yeah, and that's true. That sometimes you're locked in.
And then people jump out windows and then come back 10,
No,
30
no,
minutes
that
later.
is- no, you don't do
don't
that.
do
Oh
that.
my gosh. Anyway, so the thing is, though, one of the things that the trial lawyers and lawyers will ask you and stuff, they'll say, "So, have you ever been a victim of crime before?"
Yes.
And you think about it and you say, "Oh my God, yeah, I was 2 or 3 times." So then, like, nobody's ever been a victim to crime before. Of course, most people have been, and if you haven't, like we're saying, it's a terrible
You're
feeling.
lucky. You're
You're
lucky.
very, very lucky. And how you look at things are a little bit different. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so they ask you that. That's the reason why they ask you, because they know there's emotions and feelings tied into that.
Right.
There's the feeling of being hurt, betrayed. Like you said, there's I don't know what we wrote some of them on there. You're angry. Oh my gosh, think about how angry you got.
You kind of change the perspective on people and how much more like kind of closed in you become, because you start paying attention to everyone. I mean, with the martial arts mindset that we've got.
Oh yeah,
gained
yeah.
from that. See, that's something we already watch people a lot.
Yeah.
Like, at least I do. Whenever I go into a place, I look for my exits. I pay attention to everybody that's in the room, and I always watch outside and everybody. So I don't think my friends and stuff know this a lot, but like I always kind of look away from our conversations, and it's not that I'm trying to be rude. It's like I'm always trying to pay attention to every single person that walks in and watch doors and watch every movement and stuff that is being made, and that's just a thing that's built in. So now after something like that
even makes it worse.
Yeah, now you don't want to leave anything anywhere because now you're so skeptical of everybody.
So whatever
and
happened?
then like inviting people over,
Oh,
yeah,
every time, and I'm please understand this. He's got great friends. I love his friends and everything. Even the one that did that to you, went to cards and stuff, he's turned out to be a real good guy.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons he's been a good guy, we'll talk about that one.
Well,
But-
I mean, we can do that right now.
Yeah, but still want to finish the anger stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But one of the things I still, to this day, when you have people coming over, and I know they're good people, I start thinking about what should I need clothes, what should I keep, taking so it's not setting out and stuff. Do I need to put things certain places so they would actually have to go in there to find it and everything?
Yep.
So that bothers me. Or I think about, all his equipment and stuff that he has here. Is somebody going to tell one of their friends and they're going to come rob you blind or stuff? All that stuff stays in my mind. And I hate the feeling that innocence has been lost.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. When you're a victim of theft and somebody stole from you.
What's that phrase? The something is blind, or
Justice is blind.
no.
but that's- I don't know
I'm
the
sorry. I messed up the phrase. Is bliss, or ignorance.
Ignorance is bliss.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
It is, because you walk in a world that is perfect. That's a good segue. We got there a little bit too quick, but
I know.
But anyhow, so I'm so emotionally, I'm just kind of, I'm struggling with frustration. Not even frustration. That's not what I want. Being angst, feeling like, oh my gosh, I wonder if we got to worry about this.
You're on edge.
I'm edgy, yeah, and I know I shouldn't
You're
be
not
because,
edgy.
well,
Sorry.
yeah, it's kind of edgy, but it's like, no. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Gonna dye
And I'm
your hair
sure they
black?
understand too. You don't trust people. It's the
Yeah.
unwillingness to trust people.
Right.
And their integrity and everything, and that's frustrating because I
You
like
want to.
thinking. I want to think
Yeah.
good about people and everything. I want to so bad. I don't
After things
want to feel
happen,
that
though,
way.
it's really hard.
Exactly.
It just is because I don't know. It's after that whole thing happened, especially when I was younger and stuff. I started watching and making sure everything was put in a certain place that I knew and things like that. And I had actually, fun fact, I don't know if you guys know, Pokemon had this Ancient Mew card that they made forever ago for the first
Yep.
movie that
Yep.
came out. I had lost that for probably about 9 years.
Yep.
Because I had hidden it because of that experience. I hid it in
Yep.
one of my books and I lost that card.
Yes, and I found it. I think it
No,
was
I
me.
found- I
you
found it.
found it. Well, I
Yeah.
found another one too. So maybe you.
Yeah, you
hid
found
two.
No, you found the collection, like that small stack that yeah, that we'd gotten online a while back.
Coffee. Oh, go ahead.
But yeah, so I don't know. You want to trust
It's not
people.
G
It
Fuel.
gets
It's coffee.
Oh, don't worry. I got G
He's
Fuel
got
right
G
here.
Fuel!
Woo! Okay.
Woo!
So,
we totally lost that conversation.
yeah.
Anyway,
But-
so
I don't know. You want to trust people, and after something like that happens, it's really rough.
innocence again. Like we said, it's innocence. I hate seeing the kids knowing that they're gonna go through that stuff.
But our Santa discussion could kill that though too. But that's another podcast you could go and watch.
But as you kind of grow into that, that ain't like one of those things. All of a sudden, you got a knife sticking in your back.
All right, but it still could create like distrust though. That could be something. But
Yeah.
anyways, that's the go watch that podcast. There's a
Go
good
to
debate.
go to that one and
So,
watch it all.
Yeah, but I don't know it.
But see, it led to so many different feelings, feeling of
It did.
anger, of
Betrayal,
hurt, of
yep.
betrayal, mistrust, and then your reaction to all those things because you feel those things.
And the way it changes you, and the way that you interact with people and things around you
It's
now,
not a
it's
good
very
thing.
different. No,
I mean,
No.
so that if you want to call it evil, because I call it evil, that happening to you causes you to actually do things that are kind of evil
So
too.
my question is then, how do people pay for that then? Like, what? How do you take that? How do you decide that?
Okay, so
they-
now we're segueing into the.
Ooh, that was a
It's
good
you did
segue.
that
I'm
first.
really
No.
good at that.
No, you did that way because you're trying to move it on.
Well, no, because I don't
No,
know. It was
anyway.
just a really good point to be made from it, though.
It is.
What?
Now,
How do you?
I'll say something about now. Your one buddy.
Yeah.
We sat there, and I think after that happened and everything, we were trying to decide what to do because we didn't want. They were pretty young kids when the card thing
We were
happened.
probably like 7, I would
Yeah, I
say.
think
7 or
about
8.
7 years old.
Yeah.
And we kept thinking, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And in our mind, we're thinking, if we say something to his mom, then he's probably gonna get in a bunch of trouble, and he'll probably get a spanking or whatever he did. Not everybody spanks kids, and hardly anybody does anymore. Get the law at your front door when you do things like that. Anyway, my butt's still here, and I got spanked. Anyhow,
It sure looks a little.
regardless, corporal
looks a little
punishment everybody
deflated.
doesn't agree with. But anyhow,
You didn't catch that one. I'm
I
glad.
didn't hear you, and I ain't gonna listen to you.
So, are you sure
Well,
about that?
no,
It
that's
looks
'cause
a
I'm
little,
old.
little deflated.
No,
That's
when
what
you
I
get
said.
old, your butt goes. "Fruit." It really does. Maybe we'll get in that conversation one of these.
That's it.
Nah.
Butts.
Anyway, yeah, but well, wait a minute.
Hey.
Any-
Decision.
Anyway,
Shit.
yes.
Friend. Childhood friend.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we did decide that we were going to tell his parents.
Yep.
Now, why did we do that? I could tell you there's a couple of reasons why. When I was young, I stole something one time myself. See, I did it the opposite
You
way
klepto.
too. I was a klepto for a while. Actually, I was a terrible klepto, and but I got caught.
Yeah.
And I got corrected too, and I am no klepto no more.
Yeah.
So, same thing with him. He got caught. His mom took and made him give the cards back to Dustin, and I think she did something else too, but he ended up getting.
Oh, I think she
Gave him-
had grounded him, and then he wasn't allowed to talk to me for a while. Or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
you
that.
couldn't even talk to him or anything.
Yeah.
And then they just weren't friends either after that, and that was a shame. But sometime, a few years, after it finally calmed down and stuff, they finally start talking to each other. But boy, I mean, it almost destroyed
And
that whole
see-
relationship. I mean, that was a sad, but what it did do is it made him not a thief anymore.
Oh yeah, no,
He
he's
stopped
really good
stealing.
now. Yeah.
He's an excellent.
I mean,
excellent guy.
he was managing for a
Great
while
guy.
actually.
Yep.
He became a manager and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So he's
real good guy.
Yeah. And see, that was something too, like with the whole wallet ordeal that happened too. That was something that I
Right.
struggled with a lot because since we had actually caught her and everything,
So explain a little bit about her, not so much in depth, but just a little bit why you didn't want to do it too.
well, okay, so she was a person recovering from drug use, and she also had just moved from, I believe, Florida up to Michigan to live with Tony and to
Tony was helping her out.
trying to help her out and start a new life. And so I wanted to hear her side of it. If she needed money or something like that, or she wanted to send money to her kids or something,
Right.
I wanted to hear her out. That was my thought process on it. And I'm like, because we had just, like, the night before had a discussion about her kids and about everything and all that. And I think that's part of the reason why I was hurt even more is because we did discuss everything. I just told her about like all the charity stuff I had done and like how I needed to start raising money for myself because I don't have a lot right now. And we had just gone through all those discussions and stuff, and then all the things happened. So I'm like, I want to hear her out, hear what she has to say for it. And I gave her so many chances, and the officers, they worked with me so hard. Like, they were getting mad, but they were trying to work with me so hard to just hear her out and stuff. And it just got to the point her story just started changing. She started lying about different things, and then she would start telling the truth about other things, and then go back on it. And it was just a mess. And then so I took Tony downstairs. I'm just like, what would you do? And he's like, honestly, I wouldn't have even listened to near as much as you did. I would have already decided. It already happened. It's done. She would have been gone. And so I'm like, all right. So we went back up. I talked to the officer. I told him, I'm just like, I'm done. I've heard enough. I'm good. I'm going to press charges. And I didn't want to because I try to see the best in people, but you can't always get that, I think is the best way to put it. You can't, no matter how badly you want somebody to be good and how much you want to see somebody have a reason for what they do, that's not just a selfish reason, that they're doing it for somebody else or something.
Right.
Not everybody's going to be like that, no matter how badly you want them to be. And that's the part that sucks.
And that's what I'm saying about the
ignorance is bliss.
No, that's what I'm trying to say about making somebody pay for what they do.
What would you have done in your case for either the tires
honestly,
or for the wallet?
You know what? I hate to say this, but you're a lot like I am.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
You'd want to hear them out.
I would want to hear them out.
Yeah.
And you can tell the line of bullshit when it starts coming.
Yeah.
So, and plus, you stop and think about how that police officers, they hear this day in, day out.
Yeah.
They can usually tell the people that are sincere and really did screw up and know they did. And because there usually comes a point where they're not making excuses for what they did. They just break down. They say, I did it. I'm screwed up. I know I got to pay for it. And then that's it. And that's usually when it stops. Those are the same type of people that will just get out of it totally from the get-go. Apparently, she was not one of them because she was doing everything that a cop hears almost day in, day out. That same lying, because that's part of that crime is the lie.
And one of them, like the other one was just kind of laughing everything off. Like he's so used to it. He was just kind of like, all right, okay, whatever. Yeah. The other guy, he was getting mad.
Yeah.
He was getting real mad.
Yeah.
So was I. But
and so that's the thing. You can't let people off the hook all the time. And it's in my nature. I always tried to do that.
Because they have to learn. Yeah, they have to learn and grow. They have to
Yeah.
They have to learn and grow so that they can become better people.
Exactly.
And maybe so they, that's another thing too. Is everybody thinks that teens and kids or young adults have to learn, because they're the ones that mess up and stuff. But adults, they do a lot of stuff too. At least for my generation, I think the view is mostly that. Everybody always thinks that it's like the younger generations that always get in trouble and stuff like that. No, adults, there's never a point in your life where you stop learning, or have to face some big thing in your life and it changes you and stuff like that. So I think that's a really relevant point to be made by it.
Yeah, well, in other podcasts, you guys learn that what I do is I'm a supervisor at work. So occasionally there's guys that try to get away with stuff there too, right?
Yeah.
And then, but I got rules I've got to follow too. And
or
if
even
they don't
in the streams
follow,
and stuff too, people say really stupid things or make mistakes and things as well.
Some of the times I have to take due punishment.
Yep.
Because it's part of my job. So if a person, and that, there's one particular person I'm talking about.
You guys were getting rubbed wrong real bad.
Oh my gosh, this guy kept. All the time I was coming frustrated. What do I do? What do I do?
They were like sandpaper to each other. It was getting bad.
Finally, I just said, you know what? I've got to do what the right thing is to do.
Because they're not going to learn otherwise.
And I did it. And so many people, that person would always swear to me, I'll get my money back. I'll do this. I'll do that. And, but I still had to you still got to do the right thing. So sometimes it means you have to turn somebody in. Sometimes it means you got to take privileges. So whatever it does, but those things, that's what they're there for, is to correct the injustice that was done, to make it right to where either that person will learn and say, yeah, there is consequences to what I've done, or because if you keep letting them go,
they're just gonna think they can get away with it.
and they will continue. Then it gets worse and worse.
And said lady, I'm almost pretty 100% certain Tony and I both are, is she's stolen things a couple other times as well.
Yeah.
Family friends' money and one of his daughter's money
It's a shame.
stuff too. So yeah. And then martial arts too, if one of us messed up, we all had to get punishment for it too, because we all had to learn and grow together, and that built team building as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that can be done from that, even like community service stuff for like punishments and stuff, talking about like I had to decide pretty much on the form I got for the subpoena and all that. I had to decide, or not the subpoena, sorry, the
subpoena.
Yeah, no. What was the forms that I got in the mail?
Yeah,
Can't even think what they are.
Yeah,
That was
subpoena.
No. Tony got that one.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got some forms in the mail, and one part of it was asking from my suggestion what I would want the sentencing to be, and it was like jail time. It was like what was it? Community service, counseling, and probation. And I had picked probation, so she won't mess up again. And if she does, she actually will get jail time. So I'm trying to do that as a learning experience. Counseling, because that way maybe some people can get in her head and help her. And then the community service, so maybe that'll be a team building ordeal. And I thought that was something that would try to actually help her, not just throw her in jail, because that might help teach her something, but there's no promise of that one, whereas the other three have more actual outcome where it might help her and fix her person.
Right.
So
which I thought was pretty good that was on there.
Yeah.
'Cause then it gave you a right to say, this is what I
try
think
to influence
I
their
would
decision.
Help. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, lock her up, throw away the key,
Yeah, because I don't want that for somebody. If I'm going to deal with somebody, even if they did me wrong, I still want to see them grow into somebody that's better, not just be like, oh, yeah, like you said, lock them away, throw away the key, and then leave them to rot. No, that's not how you treat somebody, even if they are, there's certain levels, and that can be a whole nother debate, certain levels of probably a cutoff of whether somebody should be taken care of or whether they should actually be tried to helped and fixed and everything. Well, for example, if a serial killer is there, you probably shouldn't try to,
No.
So that's what I'm saying, but those are two very different extremes. But
that also, there's a lot of times that, there's just people that are psycho when that happens, but there's other people that work to that aggression.
Yeah.
And if you would have took care of it earlier, when they maybe pop somebody and a wife or something or a husband, and then you
Stop
put them
it
in jail
at the
and
beginning.
just say that's it. Counseling, let's take care of it. You guys need to separate, get away from that kind of stuff.
If there's ever abuse in a household, that needs to be taken care of ASAP.
Absolutely.
You do not deal with that stuff.
Absolutely.
100%. Even if you have to take care of it yourself, do not deal with that stuff. So, but to kind of wrap things all up, or to kind of bring things full circle, you had made a really, really good point, or I had did that segue earlier, but you had a really good topic to kind of finish it all off with, which I had made the comment earlier about ignorance is bliss. And so having like a full, how did you word it earlier? The full.
Well, the way I was thinking is when you're younger, you have, like he said, ignorance is bliss. You have a view of the world where everybody's wonderful, everything's great, and you can hug each other and kumbaya and everything. But you know what? There is people that are criminals, and there is people that are not good people. They're just not good people.
You had made that point earlier, too, on that I think also kind of brings it, because not even just the not good people, but you had said, like, going out in nature, and, for the stereotypical tree hugger term that you said, where, somebody will go out and be like, anything can be made a friend, like even a wild animal.
To think that it just, I guess that's the point. It's the innocence of thinking everything and
it's friendly and nice, and nothing's going to hurt you.
Nice, and they will never hurt you.
Goodbye,
and then
Mike.
when you have that happen to you, those things happen to you, your whole idea of what the world is like changes, and you realize there is evil, and you realize there is people that'll take advantage of you. So your innocence is gone.
Right.
So I just basically what I was saying when I was talking to you is younger generations of people that have not had to go through wars and go through that kind of stuff, and they didn't get a chance to see a lot of that stuff, and they are living a society which is really, really actually pretty good, a pretty decent society right now.
Yeah.
But then that stuff will always exist. It'll always be there. So you can't be ignorant about crime, ignorant about theft and stuff like that.
And you don't have to distrust a whole group of people or distrust a whole group of like a certain philosophy or, you know, religion or whatever, but you still need to be skeptical. There's still a sense of being smart, and there's a sense of being completely ignorant and having the chance of you getting hurt or something like that. So
in other words, you don't walk down the middle of an alley at night just because you trust the world.
Even if
you gotta be smart about things too.
Yeah, I don't know,
because they are the criminal
mentality
group of people that's there are going to take advantage of ignorance being bliss.
Yep.
Because that's what they live to do. So what are we saying? We're saying it's something as simple as taking your coat with you to the restroom.
Yeah, be smart.
And
be safe.
Why should he have had to do that?
Especially with family there, I shouldn't have had to take my coat. But even in that situation, unless you know the person absolutely, unless you are certain and had experience, like for example with animals or something like that, or certain groups of people or whatever, unless you know them and you have that information fully there, be smart, be safe. Yeah. Don't just trust in a moment, In
other words, you can't trust everybody, even though it sounds like a wonderful thing to do. We're just being honest. I am on my side, so I'm a lot less trusting in people than you are. But now, since this has happened to you, and that's what we're saying,
it's getting there.
It changes you.
Yeah, and I think even like doing YouTube stuff has changed me a lot too, because I used to be one for always trying to help everybody and always thinking that somebody can be good and maybe somebody's having a bad day or whatever. Yeah. But there's just some people you can't. Like, we've had people come into our chat before during streams and just say the raunchiest, nastiest stuff. Yeah, sure. And then we've had some people that have just, like, there was this guy who came in and was just like, die, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I kind of like stopped the stream there and we had talked to him. And I'm just like, you just having a rough day? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not dealing with this. Mm-hmm. If you want to talk, you can talk. And he ended up joining our community a little bit later that day. And, it's like things like that. You got to kind of weigh it out, like different situations.
Automatically think this guy's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, because everybody goes through things.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single day, everybody goes through things. Yep. But that doesn't mean that there's always going to be good in everyone, though, too. Like, for example, there was a guy...
Star Wars.
Oh, I was going to say a real-life instance. Gosh, anyways. Star Wars podcast. Okay.
He did turn back.
Yeah. But there was this guy, actually, who had robbed a drugstore. Uh-huh. And he had done it to not get money. He went and stole medication for his kids. So that's a little bit different. Don't go and do something like that. But it's a little bit different circumstance than somebody that goes in and robs a bank to get money.
But that person still had to go in front of a court and everything. Yep. And then they explain it. Well, then the court can help them and get them help.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing. That's what it's all about.
It's supposed to be about community building, not having people just rot away in a jail. Although sometimes that's what happens. It's not good, and I don't agree with it. But there are situations where people can get help and they can grow. And it's a really rough time in their life, but it's about
I think
coming together.
And I think we've gotten to that place. We're building more and more programs to help people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long process.
I was gonna say it's still kind of iffy. We're getting there.
Yeah,
I think we're getting there.
I think it's a world's changing that way a lot more.
It's because we want to see.
Internet helps a lot.
Internet does help a lot, and I think that it's holding a lot more people accountable, and we can actually start working together to get things done and fixed. Because I mean, look, just in the past 10 years, how much has actually changed. I know the world's not perfect by far. There's a lot of things still wrong in it, and even just in our country and stuff, right? But we're getting there.
Yeah,
slowly but surely. And fast change would be good, but
out in the open, and the more you can see it, and the lies are stopped, and the crime. I mean, you could see it for what you got to admit it's there.
Maybe how good things are, truthful things are compared to how people are portraying them. Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Ignorance can be bliss, but also be smart and know, because of like movies, books, information of other people, experiences. Know what to look out for. Don't be dumb. And in our case, it was both of our circumstances. There's situations that shouldn't have had things happen, so that's not so much of a dumb moment. And you can't exactly avoid those, but just always be wary. Try your best. If something happens, don't hate everybody and don't hate the world just because of it. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good full circle debate. If you guys have any questions or anything, do let us know. Tell us some of your stories as well.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear some of their stories.
Yeah, I guarantee you somebody has something crazier than ours by far.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet. And even reaching out, sometimes even like, because we've been through some of that stuff,
Yeah.
I have no problem. I'd love to talk to somebody that's really dealing with that kind of situation, because I know the feeling you had. I know the feeling.
Or even just betrayal. You know, if you're going through something right now, let us know down below in the comments. We will discuss and maybe bring it up on next podcast, talk about it, or maybe we'll just comment back on it and see what happens.
It might sound funny, but when you called me, I was like, dang it, I wish I could give him a hug. I know, Daddy wants to give us
I did not want to be touched during
that
time.
I know, but I wanted to, just because that's a dad thing to do. It's like,
I was not
I
good.
know the way he's feeling right now. He's pissed and he's angry, and I just...
And I'm going to be honest, that first time I called you, by the way, and you didn't answer right away, that lit me up a little bit more, just because there's a lot of times I try calling and stuff like that, and you don't always answer. So it was just like the one of the many times, or one of the few times.
Got through.
Yeah. And then that just lit me up more, and then you called back like 5 minutes later. I'm like, I don't even remember what he said.
I was actually
what I
sitting
said.
under John.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I was, because that one I called right after I got seen it.
So I don't know. It's just it's all circumstance. Just yeah. But anyways, let us know some of your stories. And then if you guys have any questions for us or things you want to see us talk about, please go ahead and let us know.
Absolutely.
Do you have any final comments you want to make?
I don't. The world is different.
He says I don't, goes into full.
I know, but then I just thought, the world is different, and I'd love everybody to be able to get along and
100% understand each other, even if we have different opinions.
That's
and
why we do
philosophies
this
and stuff. Yeah,
because I know I look at things different, and you look at things different for your age, and I just, from my own experience, for being around 60-some plus years, I've seen a lot of bad people around, and I know exists a lot more than probably a younger person does, and you'll go through it. And I'm just saying, it's getting better. From my side, I could see it, and I'm telling you, in 60 years, I've seen a lot of change, and the boomers have went through a lot of crap. So it is getting better. So
and now the Zoomers are
good.
But
that's all I got to say. So, Zoomer. Anyway, all right.
Anyway, stay positive, stay creative. We'll catch y'all next time, and see you in the next episode.